What if I told you there are towns in America right now actively paying you to move there? Not a discount, not a coupon, cash, free land, forgivable loans, down payment grants. Some places are handing over plots of land completely free just to get a warm body with a heartbeat to show up. And before you say, there must be a catch. Yes, sometimes there is. But sometimes the catch is just that nobody knows about it yet. And that's exactly what this video is. Your early warning system. Because in 2026, with home prices still crushing the middle class and remote work making geography irrelevant for millions of Americans, the smartest financial move some people will ever make might be moving somewhere most people have never heard of. We're breaking down 12 towns that are practically giving away land right now. What you get, what it actually costs to live there, who it's right for, and who should probably stay on their couch in Austin and watch from a distance. Stay until number 1, because that deal is almost too good to be real. Subscribe, because your next best investment might be a zip code you've never thought about. Let's get into it. Number 12, Marquette, Kansas. Marquette, Kansas. Population 500. Located about an hour north of Wichita. Flat. Quiet. Wide. Open sky in every direction. And as of right now, the city is offering free residential lots to people willing to build. This isn't a rumor. This isn't expired. Marquette has been running its free land program for years, and lots are still available. Here's how it works. You apply for a lot. You commit to building a home within a set time frame, usually 12 to 24 months. You meet the building requirements, and the land is yours. Free. No purchase price. Now let's talk real numbers. Because free land doesn't mean free life. Cost of living in Marquette runs roughly 25 to 30% below the national average. Groceries affordable. Utilities low. Property taxes minimal. The nearest major city is Salina, about 20 miles away. Wichita is under an hour. So you're not completely isolated. You're just far enough from everywhere that the land has no price tag. Who is this for? Remote workers, retirees looking to stretch a fixed income, families priced out of urban markets who can work from anywhere. Who is this not for? Anyone who needs walkability, anyone who requires fast internet for large file transfers without checking coverage first. Anyone who will be miserable without a coffee shop within walking distance. Marquette is a real town with real people, but it is very, very quiet. Number 11, Claremont, Minnesota. Claremont, Minnesota, sitting in Dodge County, about 90 minutes south of Minneapolis. Claremont isn't giving away free land, exactly, but it is offering something almost as valuable. A $12,000 grant to anyone who builds a new home in the city. No repayment required. Just build the house. Stay for a defined period, and $12,000 is yours to keep. The town has been losing population for years, and the city council decided, instead of watching the decline continue, they would pay people to stop it. Smart. The surrounding area has strong agricultural employment. The Rochester job market, one of the strongest in Minnesota, is under an hour away. Mayo Clinic is in Rochester. One of the best healthcare systems in the world. Less than an hour from a town, giving away $12,000 to move there. Think about that. Median home price in Claremont. Well, under $150,000. Cost of living, roughly 20% below national average. Winters are brutal. This is Minnesota. January will test your character. But if you can handle cold and you want space, affordability, and $12,000 in your pocket just for showing up, Claremont deserves a serious look. Number 10. Harmony, Minnesota. Still in Minnesota. Because apparently Minnesota decided if you can survive the winter, you deserve a financial reward. Harmony is a small town in Fillmore County, southeast Minnesota, right in the heart of Amish country. And yes, that is as charming as it sounds. Rolling hills, farms in every direction, a downtown that still functions like a downtown should. Harmony has been offering discounted lots, sometimes deeply discounted, to attract new residents and builders. The pitch is simple. Come here. Build here. Stay here. And we'll make it worth your while financially. The town sits close to the Root River State Trail, one of the best cycling and outdoor recreation trails in the Midwest. Rochester is about 45 minutes north. La Crosse, Wisconsin is about an hour east. So you have access to real cities while living somewhere that costs a fraction of what those cities charge. Home prices in Harmony regularly fall below $120,000 for a full house. Not a studio, not a condo, a house with a yard in a functioning community. If you've ever romanticized small-town life while being priced out of everywhere that feels livable, Harmony might be exactly what you've been waiting for. Number 9, Beatrice, Nebraska. Beatrice, Nebraska. And yes, it's pronounced Beatrice, not like the name Beatrice. Locals will correct you immediately and enjoy doing it. Beatrice is one of the larger towns on this list at around 12,000 people. And it has one of the more serious incentive programs we've found. The Beatrice Homestead program has offered free lots combined with forgivable loans to encourage home construction. You build a qualifying home, you meet the residency requirements. The loan gets forgiven. You effectively got paid to build a house. The town has real infrastructure, real schools, a hospital, actual restaurants. Gage County is agricultural but diverse enough to support multiple industries. Lincoln, the state capital, is about 40 miles north. So you're genuinely not in the middle of nowhere. You're just in a place where the middle of nowhere is close enough to matter for prices but far enough away to stay affordable. Median home price in Beatrice around $130,000. Property taxes low. Crime below national average. For a small city with actual amenities and a financial incentive to move there, Beatrice might be the most underrated town in the Midwest right now. Number 8, Marne, Iowa, Marne, Iowa. Population 120 people. This is not a typo. Marne is tiny. It is genuinely, unapologetically tiny. And it is giving away free residential lots right now to anyone willing to build. The lots are real. The program is active. The town wants people. Any people with a heartbeat and a building permit. Now, let's be honest. about what you're getting into. Marne has a post office. It has some local character. And it has the kind of silence at night that people who've never experienced real rural America genuinely cannot prepare for. There is no grocery store in Marne. The nearest town with actual retail is Atlantic, Iowa, about 10 miles away. Omaha is about 60 miles east. Des Moines is about 75 miles northeast. So, if you work remotely and your idea of a good weekend involves space, quiet, a garden, and maybe some chickens, Marne might be the most affordable fresh start in America. If your idea of a good weekend involves options, any options, you should probably keep scrolling. But for the right person. Free land in Iowa with 2 major cities within an hour is not nothing. That's actually a real opportunity. Number 9. Lincoln, Kansas. Lincoln, Kansas. Not to be confused with Lincoln, Nebraska. This Lincoln is smaller, much smaller. About 1,200 people in north-central Kansas, and it is one of the more aggressive towns on this list when it comes to getting new residents in the door. Free residential lots, plus a $500 utility incentive for new home builders, plus a genuine community effort to recruit and retain people. Lincoln County has been watching its population shrink for decades. And unlike a lot of small towns that just accept the decline, Lincoln decided to fight back. The town has a hospital, a school system, local businesses that still function, and a county fair that the locals will tell you about, with a pride that is completely disproportionate to the size of the event and completely justified. Salina is about 45 minutes south, which means you have a real regional city with real amenities, close enough to use without paying Salina prices to live. Cost of living in Lincoln County sits around 30 to 35% below national average. Building costs are low. Labor is available. And the incentive program actively stacks free land plus utility credit plus low construction costs into one of the better deals in the rural Midwest right now. Number 6. Elwood, Nebraska. Elwood, Nebraska. Population 700. Gosper County, southwest Nebraska. About 2 hours west of Lincoln. Elwood has been quietly running a free lot program that doesn't get nearly the attention it deserves. Multiple lots available. Build requirements apply. Residency commitment required. But the land itself costs you nothing. What does Elwood actually look like? It looks like a town that remembers what towns used to be. A main street that still has businesses. A school that still has students. A community that still has events. Cunny. A larger regional hub with a university is about 45 minutes north. The Platte River Recreation Corridor is nearby. Hunting and fishing are legitimate lifestyle options here, not vacation activities. The cost of living in this part of Nebraska is genuinely difficult to beat anywhere in the country. Utilities are low. Groceries are reasonable. Property taxes are minimal. And if you build on a free lot, your total housing cost is essentially whatever your construction loan costs. In a market where people are paying $3,000 a month to rent a 1-bedroom, building a house on free land in Elwood for a total mortgage under $800 a month is the kind of math that deserves serious attention. Number Go Plains, Georgia Plains, Georgia. You know this town. Even if you don't know, you know it. Plains is the hometown of President Jimmy Carter. Population 700. Southwest Georgia. And while Plains doesn't have a formal free land giveaway program, land prices here are so low and the town's revitalization push is so active that it earns a spot on this list. Residential lots in Plains can be found for under $5,000. Sometimes significantly under, and the town is actively seeking people who want to invest in its future. The climate here is mild. Southwest Georgia winters are gentle compared to anything we've discussed so far. Summers are hot, but manageable. The landscape is flat, green, and genuinely beautiful in a quiet way. America's a larger town with real services is just 10 miles away. Albany is about 40 miles south. The cost of living in this part of Georgia runs well below the national average, and Plains itself has something most towns on this list don't. History. National Park Service presence. Tourism traffic! A recognizable name for someone looking to open a small business, a bed and breakfast, a cafe, a boutique in a town that already draws visitors. Plains might be the most strategically interesting option on this entire list. Numbers, Curtis, Nebraska. Curtis, Nebraska. Population 900. Frontier County. Southwest, Nebraska. And Curtis has been running one of the most straightforward free land programs in the country. Apply for a lot. Commit to building. Get the land free. Simple. What makes Curtis interesting? Beyond the free land is the setting. This is Nebraska, sand hills and prairie country. Wide open. Dramatically beautiful in a way that flatlanders often miss until they actually stand in it. The Medicine Creek Reservoir is nearby. Outdoor recreation, hunting, fishing, hiking is legitimately excellent. Curtis has a school, a community college. Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture is here, which means this town has young people, which means this town has energy. A hospital is accessible in nearby McCook. McCook itself is about 30 miles south and is a genuine small city with real retail. The combination of free land, low construction costs, low cost of living, outdoor lifestyle, and a town with actual community infrastructure makes Curtis one of the most complete packages on this list. Especially for someone who wants the rural life, but doesn't want to feel like they're disappearing off the map. Number 3, Mankato, Kansas. Mankato, Kansas? Not Mankato, Minnesota. This one is smaller. Much smaller. Jewell County Seed, north central Kansas. Right on the Nebraska border. And Mankato has been one of the most persistent free land towns in America. The program has been active for years. Lots have been claimed. Houses have been built. New residents have moved in. And lots are still available. The county has been thoughtful about its approach, pairing free land with community support, trying to make sure people who move there actually stay. Because the challenge for every town on this list isn't just attracting people, it's keeping them. Mankato has a golf course, which sounds like a small thing, but in a town of 700, a golf course is a quality of life signal. It means somebody invested in this place. It means the community still cares. The landscape in Jewell County is rolling limestone hills, rivers, and creeks cutting through grassland. It's beautiful in the way that subtle things are beautiful. Once you slow down enough to notice, cost of living here is among the lowest on this list. Everything is affordable. Everything. And the free land sits on top of that baseline like a deal that shouldn't exist, but somehow does. Number 2, Tribune, Kansas. Tribune, Kansas. Greeley County, far western Kansas. Right on the Colorado border. Tribune might be the most aggressive recruiter on this list. Free residential lots, plus a $1,000 moving allowance paid to new residents after they arrive. They're paying you to show up and then handing you land. Let that sink in. The population has been declining for years, and Greeley County looked at the trajectory and decided the cost of paying people to move there was worth it. Because an empty county is more expensive than a subsidized one. Now let's be real about Tribune. This is remote. This is far western Kansas, where the horizon is so flat and so wide, it genuinely messes with your sense of scale. The nearest city is Garden City, about 100 miles east. Colorado's eastern plains start right next door. There is space here that urban America has genuinely forgotten exists. For the right person, that space is the point. Remote workers who want total quiet, homesteaders, people who want land and sky and no neighbors within shouting distance. Tribune offers something rare. Land, money, and silence. In a world where all three are increasingly expensive. That combination is worth putting on a list. Number 1, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Number 1 is not a tiny Kansas farming town. Number 1 is a city, a real city, with 400,000 people. An international airport, a booming art scene, a food culture that is genuinely underrated. Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Tulsa. Through the Tulsa Remote Program, has been offering remote workers $10,000 in cash, plus free co-working space for a year. Plus a community of people who all moved there for the same reason, to live better for less. Here's how it works. You apply to Tulsa Remote. You must work remotely for an employer outside of Oklahoma. You commit to living in Tulsa for at least 1 year. You get $10,000 paid in installments over the year, plus access to co-working space. Plus a curated community of other remote workers going through the same transition. Now let's talk about what $10,000 actually means in Tulsa. The median home price in Tulsa, around $180,000. That $10,000 grant is effectively 5 to 6% of a home purchase. That's a down payment contribution. In a city where your mortgage could run $1,100 a month. Versus $3,500 for equivalent space in Denver, or $5,000 in San Francisco. Tulsa has real restaurants, real music venues, real museums. The Gathering Place, one of the best urban parks built in America in the last decade. A growing tech and startup community. And whether that, while it has its moments, is genuinely mild compared to anywhere in the Midwest or Northeast, the program has already brought thousands of remote workers to Tulsa. Many of them stayed after the year was up because the math kept working, because the community was better than expected. Because $1,100 mortgage have a way of changing how you feel about a city. Tulsa isn't perfect. No city is. But for a remote worker sitting in a $2,800 a month apartment in a city they can barely afford, doing a job they can do from anywhere, Tulsa Remote is one of the most straightforward financial upgrades available in America right now. $10,000. A real city. A lower cost of life, and a community of people who made the same bet, and won. So there it is. 12 places, all of them actively trying to get people in the door, some with free land, some with cash grants, some with forgivable loans, and one with $10,000 in a city that punches way above its weight. Here's the honest truth about all of these. None of them are perfect. The tiny Kansas towns are genuinely remote. The Minnesota winters will humble you. The free land comes with build requirements, and Tulsa, despite being a real city with real energy, is still Oklahoma, which some people will love and some people won't. But here's what all 12 of these places have in common. They are fighting for their future. They looked at the decline, the empty lots, the shrinking schools, the tax base evaporating, and instead of giving up, they decided to offer something. A deal. A chance. A bet on the idea that the right people in the right place can build something worth staying for. Whether that bet pays off depends entirely on who shows up. Maybe that's you. Drop a comment below. Which town would you actually consider? Which one is closest to what you've been dreaming about? And subscribe, because next week we're going deeper into exactly how to apply for these programs. Step by step, so you don't miss a deadline or leave money on the table. The opportunity is real! The only question is, are you ready to take it?